Should you bring your girlfriend back to the States? Hell no, I'm just playing. What's up everybody, it's your boy J-Rod, welcome to the channel. So today's video I'm going to be answering a question that is very common in the travel community, is that should you bring your girlfriend back to America? And this is particularly talking about Latin America, this could relate to other countries, but I know on this channel I talk a lot about Latin America. And this also can go for men and women, because I do have women on my channel as well, so this video can also apply to them. I'm just going to kind of break this down into 3 categories of things that you should look for when determining if you should bring your partner back to the United States. And is this something that you are going through right now? Okay, so I was inspired to do this video just based off my own personal experiences, but also based from people that I know in real life. Okay, but before I start, go ahead and get this video a thumbs up and let's get started. All right, let's go. All right, so the question is, should you bring your girlfriend back to the United States? Now, I do have some people that are like, just hell no, absolutely not. They don't believe in it. But then I do know some people who have brought their partner over to the United States and they're doing well. It can be done, it is possible, but I do understand why people have their reservations, and that's what we're gonna talk about in today's video. All right, so there are 3 different types of people you wanna pay attention to when determining if this person is somebody you would wanna bring back to the United States. So in the first category we have are the red flags, and these are the people that are it's very obvious that they don't have any good intentions of being with you, solely coming over to America for the purpose of a visa. Okay, so the red flaggers are people that, number one, constantly ask for money. If y'all get in a relationship and they're constantly begging and asking for stuff, that could be a red flag that they might be trying to use you. And I just want to be very clear, and I have made videos about this in the past, that just because somebody asks you for money, it does not mean that they're being a gold digger or a choppy. For people who don't know what a choppy is, that's basically a gold digger in Dominican Republic. Just because somebody asks for money in a relationship, it does not mean that the person is trying to use you or take advantage of you, especially when you're looking at countries that are developing countries. Sometimes these people genuinely are feeling that maybe you do have it and you are able to help them. But the key takeaway to this is, and I always tell people this, but pay attention to the way that people react if you tell them no. So if you say, hey, I don't got it right now, or you know, I got some other priorities that I need to take care of right now, or if it's just like these astronomical amounts that are just unrealistic, you know, those are kind of like key takeaways that maybe this person might be trying to use you. And so when you tell a person no and you see how they act, if they blow up and get mad, then 9 times out of 10, this person, they definitely are trying to use you. Okay, and then you have other people that they will be understanding. But once again, just because somebody asks for money, it does not automatically mean that it's a red flag. Like I told you, what you need to pay attention to is how they react when you tell them no. Another thing for the red flag category is if people are constantly talking about coming to America. If all your conversations is involving about coming to America, getting a visa, 9 times out of 10, this person is a red flagger. Okay, if they're constantly talking about they have family overseas that they want to go meet, because you will see that often cases they have family members and that are already living there just for the basis that they can go reunite with their family over in America. Not saying that it's an automatic red flag just because they got family over there, but that could show signs that they have other alternative motives instead of trying to build a life with you. Some other things in the red flag category, if they're very secretive or inconsistent with their actions. And what I mean by this is if their actions aren't matching their words, 9 times out of 10, this person is a red flag. If they are constantly trying to move the relationship very quickly, that is another sign that this person could be a red flag, okay? If they are moving along like way too fast and you know, you barely get to know the person, or let's just say that maybe y'all have more sexual chemistry, but y'all don't actually have you don't know them on a personal level, then yeah, that could be a sign that this person is a red flag. So all the things that I listed in the red flag category, they're pretty much common knowledge, but you will be surprised that people, they will overlook certain things. And I myself have been guilty of this, where you find somebody and maybe y'all have more sexual chemistry, but when it comes down to the person, you will overlook certain things just because you don't want to believe it to be true, or you don't want to believe that this person will never do those type of things to you. But trust your intuition, and if you see any of these signs, then it is a red flag and you probably don't need to try to make commitments with this person. The next category of people you want to pay attention to are the covert individuals, okay? Now this category is a little bit scary because these people they're good at acting and they'll play the long game, and then eventually through time you'll see that they never really truly had good intentions for you to begin with, but they will play the game along as long as they can because they have that end goal of, I want to get a visa, I want to come to the States. These, in my opinion, are dangerous individuals because you sometimes really don't know who the person you're dating. How do you spot covert individuals? Okay, number one, if they agree with everything that you say, and I'm just talking about like they don't have a mind of their own, everything that you do they're in agreement with, or they say anything that will please you, a lot of times these people are doing that because they want to say whatever they have to say to make you happy, okay? They want you to believe that they are on the same page as you, okay? I'm not saying that necessarily means that they're just hiding something, but a lot of times when someone is constant agreement with you and they can't challenge, for me personally, I'll just talk from my own personal experience. I like somebody that's able to challenge me. I don't want somebody who is constantly going to agree with everything that I say and do. What type of relationship is that? That's kind of boring, right? So if somebody is constantly love bombing, okay, so they're just saying all the right things just to like make the relationship seem like it's thriving, that is a sign of a covert individual. And once again, these people, they're not going to tell you their intentions because they're hiding it. Some other signs to identify a covert individual is they give very subtle hints, or they're very strategically patient about wanting to come to America. So they'll play the long game, and once again, there will be always constant agreeing with everything you say or do. They'll never argue with you, but they will be that perfect ideal model girlfriend, or for women, they'll be that perfect man that they will just play their part because they know that in the end, they are going to get that visa, okay? And once again, this is why I say these type of individuals are a little bit scary because you can be dating somebody and not really know who the person you're dating. So you really need to pay attention to like the subtle hints that they give, even if they mirror all your life goals and plans. If they don't have any type of plans for themselves, okay, and they're trying to mirror everything that you do, that is a sign of a covert individual, okay? Another thing, if they are two-faced, okay, this is a big one that people don't pay attention to, but if they talk badly about all the people that they're close to, so their friends, their family, okay, but then when they get around these people, it's a completely different story. Y'all, literally, I've dated people where they have literally trashed and talked about people that are supposed to be their friends or close to them, but then when they're around these people, they don't actually say how they feel, or what some people say is they have a different energy when they are around certain people, okay? People who are constantly two-faced, don't for a second think that they will not do that to you, okay? If they're constantly talking about their friends and family, but they won't ever say it to their face, then 9 times out of 10, when they're around those people, they're talking about you, and that is a sign of a covert individual because best believe they're doing it to you. And then one last way to spot a covert individual, if there's lack of intimacy, okay? So this one is kind of like common knowledge, but if there's no sexual chemistry, but everything else is amazing, y'all conversations, okay, y'all day-to-day life. Yeah, if everything else, if the boxes are perfect, but when it comes to the intimacy and is lacking in that area, then that could be a sign of a covert individual because obviously they're not attracted to you, but they're attracted for what you can do for them. So once again, covert individuals, in my opinion, this is the most dangerous category because these people are not direct with their intentions, and sometimes it's a little bit too late once you've already crossed that threshold of marriage, and then they get to the United States and you're like, damn, I dated somebody that I didn't even know this whole time. Then the last category we're gonna talk about are the adapters. Now this category is a little bit tricky because these people don't necessarily have malice intent or malicious intentions when they first date you, but they change over time. Okay, so the best example of this is, I always use the baby example. If you take a baby out of the hood and you put them in a rich neighborhood, they then eventually will become a byproduct of their environment. And it's the same thing when you take somebody from a, let's just say, developing country, or you bring them to a place such as United States, okay, through time, they might adapt and change and become acclimated to the things that they experience in America. For example, they might be very humble in the beginning, but then they come over to America and they get spoiled, okay? So their core beliefs start to change, okay? They're easily influenced by other people, so they get in certain friends groups and they start playing the comparison game. So they do this comparison game where they see their friends, and sometimes this happens even before marriage, Like, even if you dating somebody over in, let's just say DR or whatever, Colombia, you know, they will compare themselves to their friends' boyfriends. So if they see that, you know, their friend is getting a lot of perks and benefits, they will expect the same thing for you. And that kind of happens sometimes when you bring somebody overseas to America, is that they will play the comparison game, okay? Also, adapters, they can be susceptible to peer pressure. So once again, friends or people or media, okay, will influence them to change their lifestyles. They will want to wear nicer clothes or more expensive things. You know, if they start like, oh, I want to start wearing luxury this and luxury that, but it's like, you wasn't doing that before you came to America. Those type of things that can affect someone's marriage when they are bringing somebody from overseas. And then naturally, these people, they just become spoiled because they're adapting to a new lifestyle. Now, what I will say, the best way to spot these type of people ahead of time, because, you know, once you get them to America, it's kind of too late, because once again, they're adapting to a new environment. But the best way to spot people like this is if somebody is easily influenced, and when I say like super easily influenced, they don't have a mind of their own, and they're suddenly just changing their opinion based off of other people. A lot of times those people can become adapters, or they can easily become adapters because these people are easily influenced, okay? Another thing that I would recommend is that you need to spend time with this person. You know, don't rush into a marriage, because sometimes when you rush into a marriage, you don't get a chance to actually see these traits and qualities in a person, and that goes for every category, okay? But take your time when dealing with these people, because a lot of times you will start to notice little things ahead of time, and that could save you a lot of time before bringing them overseas. So once again, overall, for the 3 categories, what I tell people is time is everything. So the more time you spend with a person, the more time you give them to show their true character. So people can only fake for so long. It's impossible to fake forever. So eventually you will see a person's true intentions. So if you are deciding or thinking about trying to marry somebody and bring them overseas, definitely spend a while with them over in their country, get to meet their family. If they don't ever show you their family, or they don't want to introduce you to their family, once again, that could kind of be a sign that maybe this person's hiding something. Or let's say you do get around their family and their family acts a certain way around you, you know, because I've seen that too sometimes, where the family might act different. You know, the family might act money hungry or visa hungry. You can tell, you can pick up on those type of vibes, okay? But spend time with the family, spend time with the people that they're friends with, because you're gonna find out more things about the person they themselves won't directly tell you, okay? But time is a test, and do not ignore your intuition. If your intuition is telling you that you don't need to be with this person, then please listen to your intuition, because I'm telling you, you're gonna save yourself the biggest heartbreaks, and you're gonna save yourself a lot of money by dealing with a person that really had no good intentions of being with you. And I have to take my own advice for this too, because sometimes we like to purposely ignore red flags because we want to feel that it could be different, or we feel like that this person won't do these things. But when you have that feeling in your gut that's telling you that this person is not the right person to take over to the United States, then please pay attention to it. All right, guys, I hope that this all helps with this video. I hope that y'all can take away something for this. If you got any questions, please leave it down below. If there's any other topics that you want me to talk about on this channel, please leave it down below. And you tell me, are you somebody who's dealing with this right now, bringing someone over to the States? What was your experience like, and do you feel that you made the right decision? All right, guys, I'll catch y'all later. Peace.